check, 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 check. Hey, hey. Hey, hey, check, check, check. Hey, hey, hey. Check, check. Hey, hey, hey. Check, check, check. Hey, hey, hey. Check, check. Check. Hey, hey, hey. Check, check. Sound. Hey, check. Hey, check. Hey, hey, hey. Check. Hey.
Hello, 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 check, hello, 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 check. Hello, 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 check. Hello, hello, hello. 1, 2. I check. Hello, check. Hello, check. Hello, hello, check. Hello, hello, check. Check. Hello, hello, check, check. Hello, check. Hello, hello, check. Hello, 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 check. Hello, 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 check. Hello, hello, 1, 2. Hello, check. hello, hello, hello,
Hello.
Excuse me. Mic check.
Wireless.
Wireless.
hello, hello, check.
Hello, hello.
Video का second.
Ma'am?
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the day 5 of F5 orientation. The schedule for today's session is we have initially an expert talk on sexual harassment awareness from 10:30 to 12:30. From 2 to 4, we have a session on life skill development, visit to department, visit to library, and visit to sports facility. From 4 to 5:30 p.m., batch A1 and A7 will be available for document verification, ABC registration, and anti-ragging. For the expert talk on sexual harassment awareness, we are privileged to have with us today Advocate Usha Andevar as a speaker of the session. This session is jointly conducted by Women Development Cell and Internal Quality Assurance Cell KJSCE. May I request Dipali Falak Madam, convener, Women Development Cell, to welcome the speaker and introduce the speaker.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Jyoti Madam, for giving me chance to introduce Advocate Usha Andevar. Advocate Usha Andevar has obtained a degree of LLM in Human Rights from SNDT College, Mumbai, SNDT Women's University. Also, she has obtained degree of LLB, that is Law Specialized in Criminal Law, from GJ Advani Law College, University of Mumbai. She has membership of professional associations with Bar Council of Maharashtra and Goa and also with Court Bar Association Mumbai. She has done international training programs on LGBT and human rights from Bangkok, Bali, Sweden, so many countries. She has been practicing criminal law in High Court, Criminal Court, and Family Court at Mumbai from 1994. She was legal consultant at Humsafar Trust. She is IRB member of many hospitals and trust in Mumbai like Kasturba Hospital, Mumbai, the Humsafar Trust, Mumbai District AIDS Control Society, and many more. She has worked as visiting faculty for LLB and LLM in many institutes like Law College at SNDT Women's University, Mumbai, Jayantibai Patel College of Law, Kandivli, Chauhan College of Law, Mumbai, and many more. Still, she is working as part-time professor at NMIMS, Mumbai. She is legal consultant on POSH matters at Ultratech Limited. She has been appearing as an advocate in various criminal matters in different courts in Mumbai, Family Court at Mumbai, High Court of Bombay, etc. for companies like Raymond Limited, Holtas Limited, United Phosphorus Limited, etc. and also for individuals. Thank you.
May I request Dipali Falak ma'am to welcome the speaker.
I've been introduced. I think I don't require the mic. Can you all hear me? So, sexual harassment. What do you understand by sexual harassment is? Anyone? What is sexual harassment for you? What do you think is sexual harassment? Yes? Okay, so what is sexual harassment? Yes? Non-consensual touch. So that means something which is physical. That's what you say. Yes, anyone else? Yes, the girls. What is sexual harassment? He says if someone doesn't say yes to it, you can't touch that female. So what other things can be sexual harassment? What do you think it can be? Explicit or implicit sexual overtones. What do you mean by that? Anyone not feeling comfortable, you should not be using words or anything else. Something. Okay. So any other person understanding it in a different manner? Let us keep it as an open session, then only it will be interesting. Otherwise, क्या lecture में 15 मिनट में देके निकल जाऊंगी, right? So what do you understand by sexual harassment means? As he said, someone has to touch. So can there be a sexual harassment without touching anyone, without speaking to anyone? Yes? Now tell me what is sexual harassment then? If I don't speak, I don't do anything, but still if it is sexual harassment, then what do I do? Yes, leaking photos and all, if you don't want to, then that can be. But otherwise, can I just be looking at you and can be sexual harassment? Can I be just singing a song? Can it be a sexual harassment? No? Why no? अगर तुम रोज खड़े होते हो, कोई लड़की जाती है, रोज गाना गाते हो, आतिका खंडाला, then that is sexual harassment. So the choosing of the song will be a thing. Yeah, if anyone comes with a lal dupatta, you sing a song with lal dupatta wali tere naam to bata. Will it not be a sexual harassment? Yes, it would be. So it will depend upon the girls, the woman, whether she is comfortable or uncomfortable. If some professor of yours wears a nice chiffon sari like Sushmita Sen in kaun sa picture? Mayuna. It's so nice, right? And you say, ma'am, you look so sexy. It will depend upon whom to know it's a sexual harassment or not. Upon her. Being called as a sexy woman, she might love it. There's no sexual harassment. But if I feel, अरे मुझे sexy बोला इसने, that means उसके मन में कुछ है. That means that becomes a sexual harassment. So you should be understanding sexual harassment is one thing, whether it is explicit, implicit, whether you touch, whether you don't touch, anything. But if a person feels uncomfortable due to your presence, for whatever the reason it is, it can be sexual harassment. A boss calling a junior to his cabin, saying nothing, doing nothing, but smoking in a way in which she feels uncomfortable will say a lot of things. So sexual harassment basically means something wherein a woman feels uncomfortable and then goes to a thing. Why is this sexual harassment required a act or a law? First and foremost, now you are aware of what is sexual harassment? You might say, मैंने तो कुछ बोला नहीं यार, लेकिन उसने जाके कंप्लेंट कर दिया. हो सकता है ना, तुमने कुछ बोला नहीं, बट तुमने जो हिसाब से देखा हो, उसमें सेक्सुअल हरासमेंट हो सकता है. सो लेट अस नाउ गो बैक why this has come into force. In 1990, in Rajasthan, state of Rajasthan, there was this lady by the name Bhavani Devi, who used to be working for the government and in a social work for women and child. And in 1990s, there were a lot of child marriages happening. So she used to go and stop the child marriages, saying that according to law, this is illegal and you cannot have a child marriage. So in one of the areas, she stopped a marriage, child marriage, which was of a Gujjar family. Gujjar families are considered to be a high caste in that. And she was from a low caste, from a potter's family. So they were antagonized कि तुमने हमारा शादी रोक दिया. But later on, they went on with the marriage. That was a different issue. But they felt very antagonized by a low, potter's girl coming to a government employment and then stopping us. How dare she does it? We have to teach her a lesson. So the family is 4% and one more person, 5%, goes and gang rapes her in front of her own husband. They go to the police station. Police also does not take any action. In fact, they wait in the police station throughout the night and say, please do something. In fact, the police were rude enough to tell her, "Aapka gagara chhod ke chale jao. We will look into the matter." And it was so rude of them. And after 52 hours, the FIR was lodged. 52 hours is too vast a time. The intensity drops. And the trial, they were acquitted. Rajasthan High Court also acquits them all for rape, saying one of the reason which the Rajasthan High Court gave was कि कोई 5 जन अपने पति के सामने पत्नी का रेप नहीं कर सकता. That was their thinking. And that way, they were only given a short imprisonment and left. But there was this one NGO by the name called Vishaka. Vishaka is not any girl's name, but it's an NGO's name, which said that nothing doing, we will take up the matter. And they went to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court gave a judgment in 1997 saying that anything which happens like this in a workplace, because she was doing her job as a government employee, right? So the workplace means anything which extends to her work. So it will not be tolerated. And Vishaka's guideline was given in 1997. And then, according to that, the center passed the POSH Act, which you have now, that is the Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace, Prevention, Prohibition, and Redressal Act 2013. In short, POSH Act. So POSH Act not only aims at preventing it, but also in prohibiting it and giving redressal to the victim. So how do we prevent it and prohibit it is what all about the lecture is all about. So first and foremost, you know what is a sexual harassment. I hope everyone understands what is sexual harassment. Okay. I wanted to show you one movie, but it was a very old movie, but I couldn't get the clipping of it, in which they show a heroine coming into the office, and this is in 1970s and 80s, wearing a t-shirt and a skirt. So in that situation, everyone leaves their job and hawks on her in different manner. So now today's world, it will be considered as sexual harassment. But in that movie, she enjoyed it. Attention of everyone. And then when the hero of the movie, that was Sanjeev Kumar, he says, "I never noticed you in the office," she gets offended that he doesn't notice me. He has not noticed me. So here, sexual harassment to hoga nahi. Okay. But if you enjoy certain acts, as I said, if someone wears a nice sari and you say, "You look sexy, babe," it will be taken as a compliment by someone. But someone might say that, "Oh, this is sexual harassment. I'm not going to hear you out in such manner. You can't talk to me in such manner." So that is the attitude of a person, how she takes it. Like, for instance, people might go and complain about sexual harassment to the IC committee, that is the internal committee. First, before 2016 or 17, it was called as ICC, that is Internals Complaint Committee, but now it is only internal committee. That is because the complaint दिखता था तो लोगों को लगता है complaint कर रहे हैं. So let us keep it as IC committee, internal committee. This is what it is. And there is, I don't want to go in detail into the composition of the committee and all, which you are not, it's not necessary for you to know. But you should know that any organization should have a sexual harassment committee, that is a IC committee under it, whether it is a college, whether it's a hospital, whether it is a industry, manufacturing, packaging, or whatever it is. And even a company wherein there is not much women's working. Like, for instance, I was called to Ashok Leyland. Ashok Leyland, you all know, they prepare the big trucks, etc. There was only one female working with them, and that was an accountant. No officer in the office was a female, because all of them were salesperson who had to go to villages for the selling the truck, etc. So all were men. They said, "Humko zarurat kya hai IC committee ki?" But as per the law, you have to have a IC committee. It's not only for the person who is working there, but the person who comes there and goes. Like, if I visit that Ashok Leyland even for one day and something happens there, then I should be having a committee over there to go and file a complaint. So even if you don't have any females, you have to have a IC committee. Okay, that is very clear by the law. Before, the law was little bit not strict, but now it's very strict that you have to even tell the collectors how many complaints have come, how many you have resolved, how you have resolved, etc. has been told in the act itself now. They have become very stringent in their rules and regulations. Like, for instance, there was this case in a company. The girls have to go, the person with whom the boss, he never is to say anything. He never is to tell them or whatever it is, nothing. But still, they filed a sexual harassment complaint against him. And when it came to the committee, we inquired and we asked them, what is sexual harassment happened in this case? तो उनका एक ही उत्तर था. It was not one people, it was around 6 girls saying the same thing, saying that whenever we used to go, whenever he used to call us and we used to go to him, he used to scan us from top to bottom. The way he used to look at us, ऐसा लग रहा था कि उसके आंखों में एक्सरे मशीन लगा है और हमें स्कैन कर रहा है. So that was very odd for us. So that is a sexual harassment, because they felt very uncomfortable going before the person, even to the extent that they went to the extent saying that हमें उस आदमी के सामने जाना पड़ा तो we used to take a file, even though the file was not necessarily in front of us. That was the situation. So that exactly is a sexual harassment, when I'm feeling uncomfortable. So the law said we have a separate act, but even in the Indian Penal Code, they included sexual harassment as 354, I think C or something. They included, after the molestation, 354, A, B, C, D, which is stalking, voyeurism, sexual harassment, and the other one. So there are 4 sections they added after 2013 Amendment Act, after the Nirbhaya case, etc. So even in IPC, you find a sexual harassment, which is the same thing. Now, I just want to read out the definition of sexual harassment to be in clarity, so that you understand it in a better manner. Just 1 minute. Okay. So the Sexual Harassment Act in this POSH Act as well as in IPC is, sexual harassment includes any one or more of the following unwelcome acts or behavior. So anything which is unwelcome, which I don't like, is a thing. So unwelcome acts or behavior, whether directly or by implication. Like, for instance, calling a woman to the cabin without any work every now and then, that is with regards to the implication, is a sexual harassment. Okay. And one more thing I want to clarify, as per the POSH Act, it is available only for the women. The guy, even though there might be a boss who is a female harassing him sexually, he cannot complain. He has to go to the disciplinary committee. He will not have any recourse with regards to sexual harassment. It happens in many organizations, it happens, but they don't have recourse under this act. Okay, physical contact and advances. Physical contact and advances can be trying to touch you, trying to, being physically look at you or whatever it is. So any type of advances, trying to talk to you in an inappropriate manner. Now, when I'm talking about inappropriate manner, what is inappropriate also depends upon the woman, the girl. Okay, a demand or request for sexual favors. Can we go after the work to a coffee shop and have a day out? Might be it looks very simple, right? But if the undertone is, can we go to my house? My parents are not there. We can have a gala time or have a coffee and have a good time. Here is the undertone something little bit different. My parents are not there. So let's go to our house, So there is some undertone. So the female might feel, ye parents nahi hai, to mujhe ghar kyun bula raha hai? So that could be a sexual advance. Okay, so it depends upon what and how you say a thing. Might be you directly go and tell a girl, I love you. Might be she will accept or she will slap you. Okay, that is only the two things available. But if you keep on harassing her in some manner, telling you're loud to her by friends, by sticking something, by a post in Facebook, something like that, then that can be a sexual harassment. That can also be a stalking under IPC. You're stalking her. That can also be that. So you have to be very careful when you want to say you're loud to someone. You have to be careful that you don't go overboard. ये जो पिक्चर में होता है ना कि नाना करेंगे मतलब नाना बोला तो हाँ उसका मतलब होता है, राइट? दैट्स व्हाट द मूवीज टॉट द जनरेशन कि प्यार करते वक्त वो ना बोलती है लड़की मतलब उसे समझना हाँ है, बट यहाँ पे ना बोला तो ना, NO ना, वेरी बिग नो मीन्स नो. यू शुड नॉट से नाना का मतलब हाँ होता है, वो गया जमाना. माधुरी दीक्षित एंड सलमान खान सब मूवी में बोलते हैं ना, जो ना बोलते हैं मतलब हाँ है, वो हाँ नहीं है. यू हैव टू से नो मीन्स इट्स नो, बिग नो. That is what they say demand for request for sexual favors are. Making sexually colored remarks. Any example of sexually colored remark? Anyone? तू तो आज बॉम्ब दिख रही है. Is it sexually colored remark? Yes or no? Yes, na? Huh? So something like this, which has an overtone of sexual thing, is a sexually colored remark. If a girl does not like to talk to you about anything like a sex or something else, and you want to show her some joke, which is a vulgar joke or something, trying to say that, please see, kuch nahi hai, dekh lena, and you impress upon her to say, that can be a sexual overtone. You cannot show certain things to a girl when she is not interested, when she doesn't want to see it or hear it in any manner. Whether it's a picture, whether it's a mobile, whether it's a laptop, anywhere. You should not be showing it. That is sexually colored remarks. Sexually colored remarks means, one of the example which I gave is sexy, you look like an item bomb, you look like a, anything else which comes in your mind, like when you are equating a woman to some item or something like that. Okay, चिकनी चमेली, जो बहुत सारे हैं. पिक्चर जितना देखते हैं उतना आपको एग्जाम्पल्स मिल जाएंगे. Okay, showing pornography is a sexual harassment. You cannot show us pornography to any girl or a woman. If she willingly sees it, that is a different aspect. But then afterwards, if she complains, then she can complain. So you are not supposed to let her see on her own, but you don't show it. If you show and she says, then it could be a sexual harassment, because showing pornography is a sexual harassment. Or any other unwelcome physical, verbal or non-verbal conduct of sexual nature. So anything, it can be verbal, it can be physical, non-verbal, non-physical, but that's what here everything comes. So you might be just like, for instance, in an office environment, a clerk was sitting in the corner, wherein that lady, other clerk, has to go from that place only to have tea, coffee, washroom, whatever it is. And this fellow had a habit of singing different songs whenever she used to come and go. He never used to even look at her. Never. He never used to look at her or speak to her. But whenever she used to pass, there used to be a song. Whatever the song is. One fine day, she went and filed sexual harassment case. जब भी मैं आती हूँ, जाती हूँ, he sings a song. He never said it is for you, but I felt uncomfortable because whenever I am coming and going, you are singing the song. So that is sexual harassment. So basically, as per the act, everyone has to be very careful. This is a, what you call alarm or something like how you are just in a first year. Then you will be after 4 years, I hope, you will be an engineer and you'll be working in corporates. So how to behave is with you. Like, as I said, boys can also be sexually molested in the college or anywhere else, but he cannot go and file a complaint under this or under Indian Penal Code 2. Because there too, it's a sexual harassment can happen only to a woman. It cannot happen to a boy. Anything with regards to the definition, any confusion or something? No? Okay, now let's see one video. स्मृति ईरानी से टाका अभी पन्ना पूर्ण नहीं निकलने चालू कर करा
अरे भाई बैठिए भाई साहब
तो सारे सवाल पूछे जा रहे हैं सब सवाल पूछे जा रहे हैं
यहाँ जितनी महिलाएं बैठी हैं एक सेकंड भाई साहब मैं एक आग्रह कर रही हूँ
आपसे ही पूछवाया सवाल
यहाँ विशेष रूप से बहुत सारी महिलाएं बैठी हैं उनसे मैं एक आग्रह करना चाहती हूँ बड़ी शांति से सुन लीजिए अशोक जी का भी सवाल शायद इस गहमा गहमी में आपने सुना नहीं किसी ने सुना अशोक जी ने और महिलाएं ये मैं क्या कह रही हूँ वो थोड़ा सुन लीजिए अशोक जी ने मुझे देखते हुए कहा भाई मोदी को आप में क्या खूबी नजर आई कि आपको मंत्री बनाया
ओके सो हियर व्हाट वाज द थिंग मोदी ने आप में क्या खूबी देखा है कि आपको मंत्री बनाया है that was the tone which Ashok Shingal when he interviewed her he asked so is it a sexual harassment or not so this happened in a interview which happened in the thing I don't want to show you the entire thing because you can watch it okay there's one more which I want to show you which one is that
What is meaning of
नहीं ये नहीं दूसरा
employee? वाला?
हाँ ये दिखाई
Congratulations, Shreya. Employee of the month twice in a row. Wow. I always knew you're the most hardworking employee of this company. But let me tell you one secret. Hard work जरूरी है, but break लेना और भी जरूरी है, वरना ब्रेक डाउन हो जाते हैं. See you in the office. ब्रेक लेना है तो बताना मुझे.
What the hell? क्या आदमी है ये? छोड़ना यार. पर सुन तो.
ब्रेक लेना तो बता देना what does that mean
This is a limit.
there is an
Ashriya.
undertone
You can't ignore him every time. तो क्या करूं फिर?
Hey, Shreya, just give me 1 second to send this mail. Here, try these. They're really good.
Thank you. I'm good.
What? You don't like chocolate?
I do, but
Well, then, have some. You deserve it. You won an award today. You did such a good job.
thank you, Mom.
I saw everything. He can't go around the office pretending he's a massage therapist.
I know, but I don't know what to do about it.
Has he done this before?
Yes.
Then we can't let him get away with this, Shreya. Okay?
To be honest, I would love to see him choke on his coffee. I feel like punching his stupid face, I just want him to die.
Okay, I feel you. But unfortunately, we can't do those things.
Congratulations, sir. Congratulations. Congratulations, sir.
So, what are we going to do about him?
Congratulations, sir. You are the harasser of the month. You should have received it years ago, but we failed to acknowledge your talent. Don't worry, it's a start.
But maybe we can give him a dose of his own medicine. Ta-ta.
Okay. So here, what was the things which you felt was sexual harassment? The touch, yes. The text, the message. As I said tonight, I gave you examples like, okay, and what else? Taking a break with me. So these all had a sexual undertone. So that is sexual harassment. So here they showed it in a filmy way of ending it, but actually she had a right to go to IC committee and complain and see to it that whatever has to be done. But that is sexual harassment. Anything, any message can also be a sexual harassment. Like you said, you saw the previous clipping wherein the words used by the person was only उसने आप में क्या देखा. The same thing can be in organization कि किसी को प्रमोशन मिला तो बॉस ने आप में क्या देखा कि आपको प्रमोशन दे दिया. तो दैट इज अ सेक्सुअल हैरेसमेंट बिकॉज व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय क्या देखा. मेरे काम को देखा यार, और क्या देखा. So, but then the undertone which the people use can be a sexual harassment. So you have to know what you are saying. Like for instance, like as a boy and girl nowadays, I see that a trend is changing. Like in our times, handshake was the, बस उतना ही, उससे ज्यादा नहीं. वो हैंडशेक भी कोई हाथ स्क्वीज करता है, देन वी अंडरस्टैंड. ओ नहीं भाई, इसके साथ फिर से हैंडशेक मत करो. बट आजकल तो हाय ब्रो, हेलो ब्रो, यू हैव अ एम्ब्रेस, हग, it's normal. But certain times when a girl is not feeling comfortable with your embrace or a hug, you should stop. You should not go ahead. अरे bro, इतना तो इसमें क्या है? But she's not liking it. If she is not liking it, then that can be a sexual harassment. Like there was a college, no, not a college, school it was, and she was a principal of a school, and the trustees had a some felicitation which happened in the school. So from trustee, one of the person went, that is a management person went, and the principal later on filed a sexual harassment complaint against that fellow. What is the sexual harassment in this complaint was that when the trustee was called on the stage, and like how ma'am gave me the pot दिया है, तो वैसा उधर बुके दिया था. When you are taking the bouquet, how will you take the bouquet? You will not take the flower like this, right? You will be holding it from below. So दोनों का हाथ लगता ही है. That clippings of the photos, she took it and saying that he purposely touched my hand. That is sexual harassment. How do you take a bouquet from other person then? You ask him to keep down and then pick it up? Or just pick it up from the top like this? So whenever you're taking something, you'll be taking. But here she filed a sexual harassment case, and then inquiry went on by seeing all the thing, and that fellow was said, and we said it is not a sexual harassment at all. But the woman still went ahead saying that no, this order or whatever the inquiry has been there, it's not proper. I will go to the court. We said, please go ahead, go to the court. Like, so sexual harassment can be anything and everything. I will just give you one more example. This also has happened, and the appeal is pending before the industrial court, and which is about a central government employee. Like, when someone is not working properly, memos detat, right? Saying some memos, one memo, two memo, And these memos are in a slang language called love letters. Hela love letter द्या रे म्हणजे memo द्या रे. Okay, so this is the slang language basically used, at least in Maharashtra, send a love letter. So this is what happened in a meeting room wherein there were around 1 female and around 7 or 8 males. And then they told that she already received 2 or 3 love letters, give her 1 more love letter. And then they all started laughing at her. This became too much for her. She left the meeting and she filed a sexual harassment. You cannot use a love letter here and then laugh at me like this. So this actually happened in a company. So these are the words. Might be it as a slang language, but when someone is not comfortable, say sorry and just leave the place. You cannot go ahead and say that, no, what we did was right. So this was one more case which was handled. So these are certain examples, and I'm not telling you from somewhere outside or somewhere, newly thing like, but these are all cases which happened, inquiries which happened, and a lot of things which went through it. Like for instance, there was one more complaint in one company wherein the lady was not given any work at all because might be the boss asked her out for something and then she said no. So from next day, he did not give her any work. She said, no, you just take rest. For 2 or 3 days, the environment became unbearable for her because there was no work given. This can also be a sexual harassment. When you make an environment which is very hostile. Hostile means wherein you don't feel like working. Everyone are looking at you with some eye. Isne kya galat kiya hai? That way. So that hostile situation which someone creates is also sexual harassment at workplace. Now, when we talk about workplace, for you, for the teachers here, the workplace is this college, right? This auditorium, the entire campus is your workplace. Now, let's take an example wherein you go to a tour to some place like Lonavala. Will your workplace be Lonavala also? Why no, the college has taken you? Right? So that will be your extended workplace. Like the teachers here might be, the college says that, no, college mein to jaldi chale jate hai, but in the corporate world, they work till 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and the shifts also changes. So there might be a car which comes and takes you and leaves you home to see the safety. So now something happening in the car which is provided by the company, that will be a workplace. If for a conference, some persons from the corporation or a company or this college goes to Delhi to attend a the college tells them to go. So that is an extended workplace. If you're doing certain thing for the college or the working place, then that is an extended workplace. You cannot say it should be only in the 4 corners of this place. No. Okay. So like for instance, in one case, they went for a site visit. Somewhere out. Boss and the secretary had gone for a site visit because she had to take some notes with regards to the construction site, not the construction, there's some bungalow site. It was an architecture firm. So they had to go there and do certain things. So in that time, the boss suddenly just asked the female, like, he did not tell her directly, saying that if we have a nice place like this, would you be living with me or something like that, to that effect. She was a married woman. She got antagonized. How can you ask me like that? This place is so beautiful. If I build something over here, will you be staying with me? How dare you ask me this question? It's a sexual harassment. She filed a sexual harassment case. Even though this happened outside, but it happened when they both were in the work. They were working. They went together out for an inspection of a site, which was their work as per the duties chart. They had to do it. So it is an extended workplace. So the workplace can be extended. But there are a lot of judgments. Like for instance, in one college, there was a fight between a professor and a female professor. Something happened. So there was a hostile situation already due to some work or something like that. So it so happened that once this female professor tried to enter the laboratory or something, and he just pulled her out saying that you can't enter without a something. So here she filed a case of sexual harassment saying that he touched me by pulling out. So here the High Court says that this is one instance, and in which the intention was not something, the intention was not on allowing you to enter. You should see that also. So it said that it is not a sexual harassment. Every now and then someone touches you, you can't say it's a sexual harassment. And yeah, if the professor did that very often, then it could be a sexual harassment. But this was only one time, one incident which happened, and there was a reasoning for that incident. So that's why the High Court also held it is not a sexual harassment. So basically, it all depends upon how you look at into a sexual harassment. Let's see one video now. The CT चा एक आहे बघा. What is meaning? अजून एक आहे ना व्हिडिओ डाउनलोड होगा. एक CT का देखो.
रविवार की सुबह या मंगलवार या बुधवार, रोज की कहानी है। मैं अपना काम कर रही थी।
अरे बीवी, एक गिलास पानी तो पीने दे।
और तभी साहब को प्यास लगी। और भाई, पानी पीने का असली मजा तो शेल्फ में ऊपर रखे हुए ग्लास से ही आता है। वहां लखनऊ में आज की दोपहर थोड़ी अलग है।
क्या बात है डिम्पल जी, आजकल आपके गाल जो है ना वो टमाटर की तरह लाल लाल हो गए हैं। वैसे पिंक ड्रेस में आपको देखकर ना दिल खुश हो गया। आप एक काम करो, आप हमारे दिल का ख्याल रखो, हम आपकी प्रमोशन का ख्याल रख लेंगे।
अजी, नौकरी इनकी बदौलत है तो इतना बोलने का हक तो बनता है ना। और ये देखिए, आज की शाम इस छोटे से गांव में कितनी खूबसूरत है इन जनाब के लिए।
अरे बहुत मेहनत करती है तू, कल से काम बंद कर दूंगा तेरा, और दूसरे ठेकेदार का भी काम नहीं मिलेगा।
पूरा दिन इतनी लगन से मेहनत करती हूँ तो लाला जी सराहना तो करेंगे ही ना। आप सोच रहे होंगे ना ये सब मैं आपको क्यों बता रही हूँ, क्योंकि कभी किसी को बताने की हिम्मत नहीं होती। अगर हिम्मत करके बता भी दूं तो कोई विश्वास नहीं करता, और अगर कोई विश्वास कर भी ले तो साथ नहीं देता।
एक सुरक्षित कार्यस्थल हर महिला का अधिकार है और हम सबकी जिम्मेदारी है। इन्हें हिम्मत दें, इन पर विश्वास करें, इनका साथ दें।
Here I just want to read one more thing which says that the following circumstances among other circumstances, if it occurs or is present in relation to or connected with any act or behavior of sexual harassment may amount to sexual harassment. Like पहले वाले इसमें क्या देखा आपने? He doesn't say anything, but anyone coming too close to you, and that's why many times I tell the female students or anyone whom I know saying that if you have a boss who is a male, whenever he has to give you instruction, ask him to come in front of you and give, not from behind. कि तुम्हारे कंप्यूटर में क्या है, coming on you. That is clearly sexual harassment. In second, he is saying that आप हमारे ख्याल रखो, हम आपके प्रमोशन के ख्याल रखते हैं. Sexual overtone. Third में तुम्हें नौकरी नहीं मिलेगी, कोई और ठेकेदार तुम्हें नहीं लेगा, धमकी. So all these things are sexual harassment. Implied or explicit promise or preferential treatment in her employment. प्रमोशन मिलेगा, बाकी लोगों को नहीं मिलेगा, आपको मिलेगा if you take care of my heart. Implied or explicit threat of detrimental treatment in our employment, नौकरी से बाहर जाओगी, you will not be getting any नौकरी, you will be demoted, whatever it is like. Interference with our work or creating an intimidating or offensive or hostile work environment. The maid who is working, is her condition very nice? Isn't it hostile? Living in a fear कि उसका बॉस क्या करे, बॉस या जो भी घर मालिक है क्या करेगा, नेक्स्ट क्या करेगा. शी इज ऑलवेज इन अ कांस्टेंट फियर और थ्रेट कि हाउ हर लाइफ वुड बी. So humiliating treatment likely to affect her health or safety. Any humiliating treatment. What can a humiliating treatment be? Like for instance, you are a college student. If a female student works very hard on some project, okay, takes it to a mentor, PhD होता है या जो भी होता है, mentor के पास जाते हैं. Mentor without seeing her, it's all trash, throws you on your face. Is it a humiliating thing? If at all he reads and makes you saying that, oh, this is right, you correct it, that is something. But without even seeing, throwing it on your face, saying it's all trash, वापस लिख के आओ. It happens in many of the PhD programs. Many people tell us, we have experienced this. They don't even see what it is and throw the papers on our face. It's humiliating. A boss throwing the paper on the clerk or someone saying that this is all wrong, redo it and come back. It's humiliating if you are doing it in front of the others. So these are all sexual, has a sexual overtones, and it's all sexual harassment. Okay, is it clear with sexual harassment now? Might be we cannot say that 1, 2, 3, 4 is sexual harassment and other is not sexual harassment, because it depends upon the lady who takes it, whether the act is welcome or unwelcome. And that all comes with what is the personality of that woman or that lady or that girl, the personality in which she has been upbringing. Like, you know, like for instance, फॉरेन रिटर्न, जैसे हम ऑब्सिनिटी के बारे में बात करते हैं, व्हाट इज ऑब्सिनिटी? चेंजेस फ्रॉम सोसाइटी टू सोसाइटी, इट चेंजेस फ्रॉम टाइम टू टाइम. द सेम थिंग हैपेंस. लाइक once when Prince Charles came to India and Padmini Kolhapuri kissed him, it was obscene. but आजकल तो होता है, हर फिल्म में होता है, सब जगह होता है. but at that time it was called as obscene. How can a person of Indian origin do this? It was tend to be obscene. So there are a lot of things which changes with the time, which changes. So that's why we don't have a definition, clear-cut definition saying that this is sexual harassment and these are not sexual harassment. You cannot say that. Okay, let's watch. I think I have one more video. Let's watch that. No, this one.
ये टोन चेंज कर दो.
क्यों मॉम?
बदल दो.
पर क्यों?
क्योंकि रोज जब मैं ऑफिस जाती हूँ, कुछ लोग मुझे देखकर ऐसी ही सीटी मारते हैं और मैं सीटियों से थक गई हूँ. Share your story with your son. Don't let what happened to you happen to another woman. To share your story, click on this link.
Okay, this is a small thing which says that how you have to behave or not to behave like. So a CT भी जो होती है वो sexual harassment हो सकती है for many people depending upon where कहाँ CT बजा रहे हो और किसके साथ बजा रहे हो. So sexual harassment. Any question from it? Let us just have an interactive session now. Anything which you want to know with regards to sexual harassment? Yes? You want the mic? See, it all depends upon her, how she wants to take it. Whether she wants to go and complain it, it's on her. No one can force her in doing it. Okay, but if she really feels that I want to complain this and bring it to the notice of the management or the committee so that he doesn't do it to someone else, then she can lodge a complaint. But it's up to her whether she wants to do it or not do it. Like for instance, in the complaint wherein I said the boss used to scan them, they complained after many years. When in the inquiry I asked one of the girl, why did you keep quiet? The answer of that middle class girl who is working, for whom the job was absolutely necessary, was saying that, मैडम ट्रेन से उतर के ऑफिस आना जाना होता है और हर जगह पे हमें कोने मारे जाते हैं, हमें टच किया जाता है, हमें धक्का दिया जाता है, किस किस का कंप्लेंट करें, हमें यूज टू हो गया है. Now we don't feel anything about this thing, but here when we are alone, there though we understand it's a crowd, it's an unknown person, but here we know this person, and as soon as we come in front of him, we feel very, uncomfortable feeling. Ki what is he looking at? He's looking at my bosom, or where is he looking at? Why don't he look at my face and talk to me? We feel very uncomfortable, and this was uncomfortableness was felt not by one but all the employees, female employees. That's when they said that enough is enough, let us put an end to it, and they complained together. And in the inquiry, the fellow's answer was, Madam, हम क्या करें, हमारा नजर ही ऐसा है. This was the answer which was there. I said, nazar badlo fir. When someone is feeling uncomfortable, your nazar has to change now. So now then we changed his department and said that we will wait and see, watch for 6 months and then take a decision if there is no complaint. So we changed the department of that person. So nazar agar kisi ko uncomfortable feel karata hai, to nazar badli karo, nazariya change karo. Yes, anyone else? Yes.
Ma'am, what I have observed many times is that many women who are, sometimes being non-consensually touched, they don't say much. Like you say, we come from middle class backgrounds, and like we don't want to get much attention on ourselves. So I can see it happening to her. Even I feel uncomfortable seeing that happen, and that person is also not जाने दो क्या होगा ज्यादा मेरे ऊपर ही फिर पड़ेगा मम्मी पापा डांटेंगे या फिर लोग मेरे को देखेंगे ऐसे करते रहते हैं. So how do we report this then?
See, as far as the company or the organization is concerned, IC committee which is there, you can complain to them and secrecy level is maintained. Everyone will not come to know who has complained other than the complainant. That's it. Complainant and against whom you have complained, only these two persons would be knowing. Even the witnesses, if you're calling, if the committee is calling, or CCTV camera we are going to take care of and see what it is, it will be all done in secrecy, and even the paperwork which is done will all be kept in a cabinet which is secrecy has to be maintained. It is not given to any and every person for inspection. So the secrecy level is maintained so that you feel confident in going and complaining. Your identity will not be revealed.
Even though it was the other woman who was being physically touched and I was
Yes,
observing.
if that is there, even if she doesn't want to go and complain, if you have seen it, you can complain and then they can inquire and then she can be called, and because she has to be a witness, right? She has to say yes or no. It can be inquired. Your name can be kept confidential. That is what the IC committee under the POSH Act is. Otherwise, no one will come forward to complain.
Can you please also elaborate on the hostile environment?
Hostile environment means, as I said, one example, like if a boss tells, let's go out after the party. Okay? After the party, let's go to my place or let's go to some hotel or somewhere else. And she refuses for that. And from the next day, the environment is hostile in the sense no work is given to her. And then next day when there is a meeting, she is not called for that meeting. If there is anything which has to be distributed to all the employee, she is not given that. The situation is made hostile that she is not included in the work of the office. the hostile situation, wherein no one wants to do anything with her. Like, the boss sees to it that, like, every time when there is a meeting or any work is distributed, usually it's distributed between A, B, C, D. But on that day, from that day onwards, he will not distribute it to that lady, D, only to A, B, C. And she will be sitting and not doing any work because there is no work given to her on that day. So it's not enjoyable situation in an office when you have to sit the whole day and not do anything. Like in this college, if a professor, someone wants to make the life of a professor hell, they will not give her any lectures. She will be coming every day and going every day without taking lectures because there is no lectures assigned to her, no group assigned to her. Or a hostile situation can be when he or she wants I will take here she only because it's a woman. She wants a lecture in the morning session or in the afternoon session or in the some timings which is suitable, wherein every time she is denied, making her life miserable, that the time which she doesn't ask is given to her. So all the situation, that's how the hostile situation can be assessed.
Ma'am, like the situations that you showed us, in those, like the women were shown to be like kind of helpless. But what if we actually refute at that time? Means we respond at that time only. Will it undermine my complaint?
Undermine your complaint. See here, IC Act, Posh Act says that when the complaint, if the evidence is not there, that means it's not that the complaint is false. Only due to non-availability of evidence you are led. So nothing will happen to the complainant. Okay, so it is not that you are telling a lie. That's what clearly the Sexual Harassment Act says. Because when you say sexual harassment, when you speak about rape, etc., it's you even speak about Protection of Women under Domestic Violence Act. Husband doesn't beat her wife on the road every time. It would be in the four corners of the home. So there won't be any witness. So in many cases, circumstantial evidences will do. Like, for instance, when someone did certain things to your friend or someone whom you have seen, might be there is a CCTV camera, because every time in all the places now you have a CCTV camera. So let her refute it. But as IC committee, I can always ask for the CCTV camera footage and see over that, whether it had happened or not happened. Even though the lady has said no, but still it will be amounting to sexual harassment.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you for the informative session.
Yes? Yeah. From the same person? See here, in many companies now, what I have seen is that it's not only the committee which exists, which is doing a work, but the committee, as per the act, has to see to it that sexual harassment training is given to the employees every now and then, at least once or twice in a year. And you have to mention that in your report that we had 2 sexual harassment trainings happen. And it also says that the training should be for the managerial level, clerk level, and the janitors and the other service level separately. Because might be if the managers and the janitor people sit together, they might not want to ask question in front of a manager. So they will not understand. So it is different. So now they are aware of what is sexual harassment. So they complain very fearlessly because, as I said, it is kept secret. Your name is not given. So the harassment at workplace, I will not say is zero. It cannot happen because we are all human beings. Every type of beings are there. If we find that Indian Penal Code is there, everything is there for rape victim, death penalty, but still every day you read that. So जो मनुष्य है वो बदलेगा नहीं. So it will happen. But only thing is, like, as a person, as a victim, I have my right, and I know. Before I didn't know. Before 2013 or before 1997, after the before the Vishaka's judgment, I didn't know where to go, what to do. But at least now I know where to go and how to go about it and complain. So at least I have a redressal system in place. The actions can be like, for instance, he can be chucked out of the job. He can be transferred to some other department. And if there is mental agony of a person wherein she had to take, there are certain things wherein it goes to a higher level and she has to take a medical help, counselor's help, etc., then the compensation has to be paid by his salary to her. So all these things can be done. So it's not, they are not let very easily. Yes.
The day we were having our first day of inauguration in KJSCE, there was one case in Bangalore. I don't think it'll be comfortable sharing the university name. It was a university, engineering university in Bangalore. One of the male candidate, he was a first year student. His name is Aditya Prabhu. He committed suicide from the 8th floor of the campus. He was earlier charged of malpractices while he was giving the examination, and he was caught cheating. While his mother posted one of the articles and stories on the social media clarifying that she got a call from her son, Aditya, that the he didn't he didn't purposefully bring this phone to the classroom. Neither the staff did notice that he brought the phone in the class, but they didn't as such take any precautionary measure. And while last 4 minutes of completion of examination, they caught him purposefully and told him that you're charged of malpractice and you're cheating right now, so you'll be brought to the concession office and the principal's office, and you'll be answerable to the staff, and even your parents would be informed. Being anxious, being scared about all the situations and this condition, he was at some part he was sexually assaulted and harassed by a lot of committee members into they were forcing him into considering ki, yeah, you should say yes, that yeah, you've you should accept it that you've done some malpractice even if there's some specification that you haven't. And
what kind of a sexual harassment happened in the committee?
there were multiple times the staff members, not just one, but multiple department members were forcing him by verbally abusing him and also pushing him and all of that stuff. And just letting him know that you should be accepting your fault, even if purposefully, even if you haven't, and there's purposefully it's
Can
impossible.
this act be termed as a sexual harassment? First and foremost is he was a male, a boy. Second is that there is no sexual undertone to that. Might be they did wrong. I'm not saying they did right. But sexual harassment,
like the mother stated in one of the articles that her son was harassed multiple times into considering and forcibly accepting his fault, even if it was just a small instance of malpractice, and the multiple layers of departments of the university did not let him go away with it. And since the dead body was found 2 hours later, the mother wasn't informed either ways. Even the college was busy showing off his dead body, not even letting us know. So there's some concoction of ideas that even the female, if there was female candidate, there would have been some precautionary measures of her letting her know that there's some procedures by which you also approach the staff room. He was left unattended without any anyone supervising him, since considering he was a 19-year-old student, a first-year student, and giving his final first-year examination. So you should consider that the child is...
yes, absolutely. I understand the situation that being a boy of 19 years old, he might be very naive in his attitude, very fresh in his attitude, and something might have got to him so quickly that he might have become nervous, ki what will happen to me, or how will I deal with this life, or whatever it is. But it's a grave situation wherein there are other committees in the in the colleges which can take care of it, like a disciplinary committee. Or if the mother wants, she can go to the court and say that there is a foul play in the suicide of my son, and the college has abated the suicide of my son, which is an offense under the IPC, and then it could be have to be proved in the court of law. There is a different aspect altogether. But with regards to sexual harassment, I don't see any sexual harassment in this case.
So if at all there's one case of sexual harassment in a college or an institution, what would be the procedure for men or boys in the committee?
Boys, I think many corporates and many colleges, they have a disciplinary committee. So they cannot go to the IC committee, but they can go to the disciplinary committee because it is the action of a discipline which is there, and they can go and talk to the disciplinary committee, which also I think should be a secret thing. They also maintain secrecy with regards to thing, because as I said now, in many colleges, there might be a boy who is very effeminate. Now they say that all LGBTQI has to be given admission normally in any colleges. But a effeminate boy can be harassed so many times by their own colleagues, by the persons. So, but then he cannot go into a complaint for IC committee, because it's a woman, and the definition of woman doesn't include him. And sexual harassment, the definition it doesn't come into. So he will go into a disciplinary committee. That's how it happens. Like, they cannot take a thing. Like, for instance, I'm not saying the boys cannot be raped. Yes, boys can also be raped. I have seen that. But then the definition of rape says that the penis to be anything, penis or any other thing inserted in a utera of a girl, then only it is a rape. So a boy cannot be raped. That is the definition now. But at least now they have taken out the old definition after the Nirbhaya case, which wherein the rod was inserted in her vagina, and many things happened. So they said that inserting not only the penis but also the any other material like a rod or a wax or whatever it is would be a rape. So it depends.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. Yes.
Ma'am, in context with the same case, whatever happened to the boy, it was still non-consensual, and if it would have been a girl, she could have easily complained as a
Absolutely.
sexual harassment.
Absolutely.
So, like, considering if it was a girl, and like not presuming the committee was all men but like females, can the girl could still have gone for a sexual harassment complaint?
Absolutely. Even if everyone who is harassing her is a woman, it can be a sexual harassment.
Even if it's
Unwelcome act
same
from a
gender?
woman also would be considered as a sexual harassment. It
So
will not mean only a man can have an unwelcome thing.
So if it is same gender, it will be still
Yes,
allowed?
absolutely. If I feel uncomfortable with that, absolutely I can have it. The law doesn't say that it has to come from a man. It just says about an unwelcome act. Yes, someone from the behind raised the hand. Yes, anyone else? Yes, from this side. Any questions? Yes.
Thank you. Ma'am, if I have complained against a certain person and he or she has not been found guilty, but it made me uncomfortable. So can I like ask for some protection or seek some distance
See here,
from that?
if there is a IC committee and wherein that person is not held guilty, that sexual harassment has not happened, but when the IC committee reports the order, they have to give the reasoning. Okay, it cannot say yes or no and leave it. So it's like an order which they have to give. And if you don't agree with that order, you have your option to go to the industrial court, labor court, or to the high court directly under the writ jurisdiction. You have your recourse to the court. You can go against that order. You can appeal.
And while the case is ongoing, like in the IC committee itself, it's ongoing. So can I seek protection against him or
You can. If you file an appeal, in appeal you can always ask your prayer to be that till the time the appeal is heard, I might be, like for instance, there is one clause in the act itself. When you file a complaint itself at the initial stage itself, if you want, you can ask the department to change your department or change the other person's department till the matter is heard. Okay, or you can take a leave of absence, paid leave of absence for certain period of time. That is also allowed. But only thing is, when the matter is before the IC committee, the first day when both come, the IC committee can always like to solve the problem mutually by asking him to stop what is he doing. But in this case, there should not be any financial dealings. That is very clear in the POSH committee. Why is this criteria there? Because if there is a financial criteria, then any and every woman will start false complaining and asking for money. It will be like an extortion tool. So that's why they said that you cannot have a financial dealing. But you have you can take it to the court for that, and you can get a rebate interim order with regards to that.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah.
Many a times we see that the higher levels of commercial or business, what we see is where there exists a rivalry between two sides. Often false allegations of sexual harassment are plotted against between the rivals. So how is it possible to burst such plots and prevent ourselves from falling into the trap?
See, that all depends upon how you behave. Like, I'll just tell you one recent case which came to me. That is that there were two young boys, nowadays they all have the companies from startups. They were between around 27 to 30 years or something like that. And they were doing quite well. Both the partners were doing quite well. The company was doing quite well. And they had gone for certain, they had office in Delhi, Bombay, Bangalore, and every places like. So once they had gone for a meeting in Bangalore, and one of the staff member of who works under the partner had gone with her. And they were staying in a very posh hotel. And what happened was both were drunk. Both had whiskey and whatever it is they had drunk. And when the lift was going up, suddenly one of the colleague came out because his floor came, and only these two persons were in the lift. And it seems the boss embraced her for whatever reason it is. And so she filed a complaint after around 15 days saying that I was thinking about it, I was mentally disturbed at this attitude, blah blah blah, and filed a complaint. Later on, it transpired that such things had not happened in the lift because there was no one, and unlucky or luckily for her or him, there was no CCTV camera working in that lift. That was the problem, because we tried to get it, we didn't get it. And it so happened that one of the colleagues said that she was in need of money, because later on she started talking about settlement. कि आप इतने पैसे दे दो तो I will not go here, I will not complain, I will not do this, I will not do that, and all those things like. So when it came to me, and then we inquired it into, we started trying and asking everyone how was her work in that other office and everything. Later on, we came to know that the husband had left the job and they were in a financial crisis and she required money. So the husband was called, and the husband, in fact, said sorry and said that she will leave the job at immediate effect and they will not file any complaint or anything like that. So here someone tried to have a false allegation against that person. That also happens. But here you have to work out. You have to know how to work out if you are dealing with a sexual harassment thing. That's why in a committee you have the female who is the chairperson of the committee. Then you have at least minimum 4 persons, and one person could be from an NGO or outsider who's called as an external member, so that it cannot be biased decision. Because outside person who is a lawyer or who's an NGO person could see to it that order is not biased. No one is biased by that order, and a proper thing it's taken care of. So that's how it happens. Yes, any other question? Yeah.
I'm furthering my question. So whenever such complaints are filed, so the onus is on the complainant to prove the allegations, or the alleged has to prove himself that he has not done something.
Onus is on the person who makes allegations. See, leaving few cases, like POXO, that is Protection of Child Act, and NDPS, that is narcotics, etc., wherein the person is taken to be guilty first, and then he has to prove his thing. In all the other cases, they are taken to be innocent and till proven guilty. So here, the person who complains has to prove that sexual harassment happened. Yes.
Hello. Yeah, I had a doubt about what if a boy is fakely accused?
What is a boy?
What if the boy is fakely accused of sexual harassment? What can he do in his defense?
The boy is a victim.
No. Falsely accused.
Falsely accused. So if he's a falsely accused, then he has to prove that it's a false complaint. And in that situation, in one of the case, the men went into the court for defamation, because making a false accusation also is defaming a person. But once you get through the complaint, then you can file for defamation. That is the legal recourse you can have to, or just leave it at it. Don't do anything.
But if not action taken, if any action is not taken, then
Any action not taken. See, here a false complaint can, if you prove that it's a false complaint completely, there is a section which says that the company can take action against the person who files false complaint. But then you have to prove that it is a false complaint. She can be thrown out of the job also for making a false complaint, and if it is proved that it's a false complaint.
Yeah,
But
thank
you
you,
have to
ma'am.
prove it. Yes, any other? Yeah. See, here we try to locate circumstantial evidences. Like circumstantial evidences means like what happened before, what happened after, and what was the situation. Like for instance, just let's take us a situation wherein a woman goes into a cabin and she is harassed by the boss. What would be her reaction as soon as she comes out? Her reaction would be very sad, or she would be crying, or she would be banging the desk. Someone would see that, right? Might be they have not seen the incident, but they might have seen the incident, what she did after that. That could be something related to what happened inside. So evidence is created. So that's how you inquire about it. What was the reaction of the person? Or as soon as she comes out, she went to the washroom, she was crying, she saw someone and she said that, no, I don't want to talk about it right now. Let me talk about it. So something like that. So that is evident to show that something happened in the cabin. Yes. This is IC committee inquiry. We are not talking about the court wherein the evidence has to be strictly under the Evidence Act, etc. No, it's legitimate because when not one person but two or more persons say something like that, and if the accused is unable to prove that nothing like this happened in the thing she's making up, and if he gives evidences to many persons, like, you can ask so many other women who are working and everyone tells good about this person, then there is a doubt created. So if there is any doubt created, then the committee usually does not punish the person. So you should be able to do that. Like for instance, this also happened in one of the eminent school in Calcutta, and they have a branch in Bombay, various parts in Bombay. So the online methods meetings used to happen. So यहाँ पे online में भी sexual harassment होता है जब कोई सामने सामने नहीं होता है. Can you explain to me any one sexual harassment on online? Taking photos when you don't want to. Okay, but sometimes it is necessary to show that you have been on Zoom meeting, so they take a photo with the permission. Without permission, yes. Yeah. Comments and messages which is unnecessary, etc. Like there was this one meeting which was held under the Zoom with a corporate, and that person was in such a hurry that he did not wear his shirt. He just came on. So they said it's a sexual harassment. How can he just come like that on a meeting platform? It was held to be a sexual harassment by the women in the group, saying, how can he come like that? So it can be anything. Got it? So online also there was a lot of sexual harassment. So in Calcutta school, the female was like, she was very, you can say like a tomboyish teacher who was a PT teacher. And this principal of hers is to make comment on her saying that, अरे तुम तो लड़का दिखती हो, तुमको तो फिर लड़की ही पसंद आएगी, Is it a sexual overtone? Yes or no? It's a sexual overtone, right? So then it went on to certain extra level. Then she said, no, I am going to file a complaint. And she filed a complaint. And that person was removed from Calcutta and thrown to some other part of the school, some other school. So it can happen. So sexual overtone, that's why I said the definition is not 1, 2, 3, 4. It's anything and everything which is unwelcome by a woman, wherein the woman feels, yuck, I don't like it. That is sexual harassment. देखो एक simple example है. Someone eating a ice cream. Let him eat. But when he looks at you and licks the ice cream in certain manner, eats it in a certain manner, is it sexual harassment? Absolutely yes, right? So it depends upon how you do it. That is sexual. मुझे आइसक्रीम ऐसे ही खाना अच्छा लगता है. अरे भाई घर पे खाओ, हमारे सामने क्यों खा रहे हो? That sort of a thing, like. So that can also be a sexual harassment. I hope it's clear a little bit. Any other question or we should stop? Yes.
Yes. Most of the time, most of the women are blamed that they are exciting people or men by provoking them with the style of clothing, and most of the neighbors don't let their children to meet you or indulge in any activities with you. Is this a sexual harassment?
Commenting on the dressing sense, yes, it's a sexual overtone. You cannot say that. See, to be very frank, in colleges now I see many girls wearing many dresses, which is very, you can see their parts. But no one gives them a second glance because they are used to it now. But if someone is gapping, then yes, it's a sexual harassment. Whatever they wear, you are not supposed to gap. Here, yes, as I also teach, I have heard from many other professors who are still traditional saying that, invite क्यों कर रहे हो sexual harassment का? You are inviting. Then there are feminists who are saying that this is my freedom. What to wear, how to wear is my freedom. You cannot have a thing. So that's where it becomes very difficult whether it's a sexual harassment or not. But if a female files a sexual harassment complaint, then the college has no other thing than to go ahead with the complaint. Whether you are at fault wearing a revealing cloth or not, it doesn't matter. It says that a male who is looking at a female wearing a sexy cloth or a revealing cloth has to still be controlled. If you go out of it, then there can be a sexual harassment case. Okay? Does it clear it?
Yes, and most of the rape victims are not supported by the society, saying that this.
That is the old tradition, my dear, saying that I will not support of this and all, but nowadays everyone supports it. It's if you see, even in the colleges or in the corporations, in the companies, they do support such actions if someone is doing it.
Can you sue a relative or a non-supporter if he's not supporting to file a case?
But it's not their support you require. It's only you have to have a inclination to go and file a complaint. You don't require a support of others. It doesn't say that there should be 5 people behind you to go and complain. It's you who has to go and complain. Right? So you have to get the guts to go and complain. Don't wait for the others. बोलते ना बिल्ली के गले में घंटी कौन बांधेगा? It's you. If you wait for the others to घंटी बांधने के लिए, बिल्ली दूध आके पी के चला जाएगा. Right? That's what I'm saying, dear. Evidence in the inquiry is not strictly like a court. It can be on many other things like. Yes? Yeah?
If I were to continue the conversation of where the male party was accused, what happens when the female party uses social media to gather support? Like if I were to talk about the Zomato incident that happened like a couple of years ago.
See, they do that. But actually, that is not allowed. You are not supposed to do that. But if they do it, then you also have a media saying it's false.
No,
but
because-
defamation, you can go in for defamation.
No, but in that case, it took a lot of months for that to happen. Now, why should a man wait for 6 months?
Even the inquiry takes that much time.
No, but still.
See, like for instance, the Me Too came. Me Too, the thing which came, and everyone started complaining that they started complaining about an incident which happened before 10 years. When the person is left, some persons are dead, but still they started complaining in the social media. मेरे साथ भी ये ऐसा हुआ था जब I was an intern over here. मेरे साथ भी ऐसा हुआ था when I was new in that company. But in many cases, they just left it. But in Aditya Birla, there was this case, and Aditya Birla said that no, we will take this action because that person was still working with us. So let us just take this in the IC committee and inquire into it.
Now, if I were to consider an example, would it have taken the same amount of time if the roles were reversed?
In the sense, if the woman does it.
No, if the male party uses social media to gather support, and the female is
See,
accused, then would it have
that's
taken
what I'm
the same
saying.
amount of time?
Both are not supposed to gather media support. Nowadays, media trial is becoming rampant because of social media. It's going on. But court nor the IC committee approves of it.
So in that case, what is the victim actually supposed to do then?
That's what I'm saying. He can file a complaint against her for defamation and other things, or he can file a complaint to the IC committee asking her to restrain from doing this.
Okay.
And the IC committee immediately has to restrain her from doing that
Okay, thank you.
and take back whatever she has said before. See, it all depends upon like once the order is done, if you don't agree at that time, there are limitations. You can't wait forever, right? 4 years के बाद पता चला मतलब how did it come out? Evidence nahi tha, something happened and he has been said that you have committed this thing, sexual harassment, order. And order was passed by the IC committee. If I have not done, what should I have done? I should have gone under appeal. Why did I keep quiet? See, that our justice system takes some time. I will not comment on that. See, there are certain things wherein legally I don't have a answer. Legally, I don't have an answer to certain things like that. If someone commits suicide, that is the person's personality, which is very weak. You should be strong enough to face anything. If you have not done it, just face it out. You can prove that you have not done it. That's what I will tell the boys. If you have not done it, be strong enough, confident enough, and face the committee, face the court. But only thing is, you have to be careful. That's it. I'm not scaring you people, but have to be careful in your approach. I don't want to do anything about you. That I can't help it. Legally, I can't do anything with that. Family को एक साथ नहीं बना सकते हो. That means family itself doesn't have any faith in you. That means there's something wrong with you, right? So family should have faith in you. They should stand by you.
Ma'am.
Yes?
Yeah, as you said, the boys have to be strong enough to bear it. So now suppose a girl commits suicide because of the sexual harassment. So is that
Abetment
her
to
being
suicide.
weak enough?
Sorry?
I'm asking, is that the girl being weak enough? As you told the boys, they have to be strong enough to...
The girl is not big enough, but certain times because of the sexual harassment, mentally they are sometimes, harassed in such a manner that they don't want to go and say the same thing to the IC committee or to the court again and again. So they are weakened in some certain
So
times. Yes.
that could be the
I'm
same.
not saying the same thing applies to the boys. All the boys don't commit suicide, right?
But some of them do. Same with
Same,
the girls.
same
Some
way
of the
some
girls
of the
do.
girls do.
Yeah.
Same way. Some of the girls do. Their personality is weak enough. They don't want to stand through all these things.
Okay.
They feel scared about what the friends would say, what the relatives would say, what would happen to the future. It's same, both boy or girl, it's similar. I'm not saying girls are much stronger than boys. Both are equal. Might be girls are not physically that strong, but mentally, I think girls are stronger mentally. Absolutely. Any other question? Yes? Good question.
Ma'am.
Good
Hello?
question.
Ma'am, there was a case about that Zoom meeting where the man entered without a shirt. So that was considered as a sexual harassment. So what about girls wearing revealing clothes? Can we say that that is also sexual harassment?
No.
Why not? We can.
Okay. I will just answer him first. He said, when both are equal, then why a law only protecting women, right? I'll come to it. For instance, we have more laws protecting women because our Indian culture, we have a patriarchal society wherein Garpe, who is the head? Father, husband, grandfather, whoever is the senior. I'm not saying he's not taking responsibility. I'm just answering to him when there is equality, why there is a special law for women. So I'm just trying to explain that. So what happened is in the patriarchal society, we have seen to that in many of the cases like dowry, like the domestic violence, or with regards to sexual harassment, happened more with the women because they are very submissive and they were not complaining because of various reasons. So here, this is an act which gave them a reason saying that don't be scared, don't be work, you go and work, but if there's something like that, this act is going to protect you. So something, because this has been happening, I'm not saying when the rape, there are stringent laws now for rape, but rape is not happening. Every day you take a newspaper, one or two news is already there. But still, because in our country, even though there is a law that there is equal, but are women treated equally? Answer me question. Are women treated equally in all the fields? Yes. Some people saying you are very forward thinking. Thank you for that. But many answer comes no. Abhi ghar pe, like for instance, you want to do engineering. Okay. Whose decision was that? Mine. And who allowed you to do it? Parents. Okay, your mummy is working? No. So if your father says मेरे पास पैसा नहीं है, आप engineering नहीं कर सकते हो, but whatever it is, the decision is his, right? Even if your mother wants to do it, can she do it? Because how will she do it? She doesn't. You said she's a housewife. Force her nahi, but monetarily will she be able to? First father, you yourself say first father. तो इधर equality कैसे आया? Okay, so this will go on and on. But one second, equality, certain people treat everyone equal. I'm not saying no, it is there. But let us see the whole picture of India. If you see the whole picture, which is urban, the cities which we are staying is very less, and the rural area is more. Wherein still we see, abhi dekho, बच्चा पैदा होता है तो सबको लड़की, आजकल लड़की ठीक है, बट लड़का चाहिए क्योंकि वो वंश चलाएगा, राइट? इवन नाउ डू दे और डू दे नॉट, कि आफ्टर some families don't do that. That I agree. I'm not saying everyone, but most of them, they think that there should be a boy to continue the legacy of their family. So that is the attitude. So here, when they are not treated properly, there has to be a law in place to tell that, boss, there is a law which will take care of it. That's why many a times there is a law which takes care of the act. That's why 33% reservation for the ladies on the bus or somewhere else, because even though equal, some people there also झगड़ा करते हैं, equal बोलते हो लेकिन आपको सीट चाहिए, happens. So to give them an opportunity to come up in life and to be shouldering the responsibility with the male counterpart. This is an opportunity given by these laws. If these laws are not there, might be they will not take the opportunity. They will be scared. मैं ऑफिस में जाके कैसे काम करूं, मेरे बॉस के साथ कैसे काम करूं, if I'm working late, मेरे घर वाले क्या बोलेंगे, like just take an example. If many families don't answer me, but just think a situation when your mother and father both are working, both are coming to the house, entering the house together. Might be your mother will keep her bag and go directly to the kitchen. Your father might sit there and say that, "Ek coffee pilana please, ek chai banana." Many might have seen this. So is there any equality over here? No. तुम्हारे घर पे होता होगा कि बनाते होंगे. हाँ. फादर ही पे करता है क्योंकि वो कमाता ज्यादा है, हेड ऑफ द फैमिली है. ओके. ओके. यस. He is not the head. Who is the head of the family? Mom is the head of the family. Very good.
Ma'am, I had a question.
Okay. Yeah.
What should a male victim do when he's sexually harassed?
I said the disciplinary committee.
Like what actions? Because usually,
Disciplinary committee in every organization.
ma'am, you talked about equality, but usually society doesn't exactly believe that a male can be sexually
Yes,
harassed.
absolutely.
You yourself said that even in the law, it's only about the uterus and nothing about the male.
Right. I'm saying yes, it's there. It says that a man cannot be raped, a man cannot be molested, a man cannot be sexually harassed. Yes. But if there is, then they have the recourse to the disciplinary committee. And nowadays, in many organizations like Ultratech, Aditya Birla, etc., they are gender neutral. They say whoever does it, we don't care whether it's a man or woman, we'll take action. They are all, that is the up thinking, that's the coming up thing. Every organization is becoming gender neutral. They are not giving more power to a woman or not. Only because there is a compulsion under the law to have a IC committee, they are having the IC committee. Okay? Otherwise, they are, the outlook is gender neutral. Yeah. Okay, I hope gender equality is a different issue altogether, that we can go on and on for hours together in giving many examples. Okay, but this is with regards to sexual harassment, so I will stop. So boys also have the recourse with the committees. That is not a IC committee, but the disciplinary committee. They can go and have the recourse, or even they can go to the court with regards to that. But to be very frank, there will be many boys or the men who will not want to go and complain of a sexual harassment, because वो बोलते ना, कैसा लगेगा मैं जाके sexual harassment का complaint करूं, मेरा मर्दांगी को चोट लगेगी, that sort of a thing. Like, see, they would not want to go and complain. That is a different issue altogether. What would my friends say? अरे यार गली गली कैसा हो रहा है तू, complain करेगा इसके लिए, that sort of a thing. Like, so that peer pressure is there always. Like, men, we have to show that we will not cry, we are strong and everything like that. But things are changing. Even men, when they are harassed, they can take a action against the person who is harassing, whether it's other male or female. Men can be harassed by other male also. That is the new trend which is happening. So you should be aware of it. Okay. I hope at least now something is clear about sexual harassment. So with the note that the girls will be having more power with regards to know what are your rights against sexual harassment, and the boys knowing that what could land them into some trouble can refrain from doing those things like. So I end my lecture or seminar at this.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for the very informative session to raise the awareness regarding sexual harassment. May I request Dr. Nandana Prabhu, ma'am, coordinator, Intel IQSC, to handle the token of heartfelt gratitude to the speaker, Advocate Usha Andewar.
Students, it was very happy to see you all interacting for the session. Since all these questions arised, I would just like to point out that we do have anti-ragging committee in the college. We do have women's development cell of the college. We have the students discipline committee, student grievance cell, IC committee also. So all these things are in place. So this is what I just wanted to mention you all. Madam, you can please continue.
So there are a couple of announcements. After the session, the second session is between 2 to 4, where we have a session on life skill development and visits to department, sports facilities, and library. And from 4 to 5:30 p.m., A1 and A7 batch will be available for document verification, ABC registration, and anti-ragging. M.Tech students, kindly note that from next Monday, you can continue with your bridge course, which is as per the instructions of your department. And on 27th and 28th, you can be available for the sessions here. Thank you very much, students, for a very interactive involvement in this session. I request all of you to be seated.
Can the last row please get up? Wait.